Yes, yes, and a mighty yes. KTNG860am.org, KTNG.org, 501c status nonprofit. Thanking you all for coming to the KTNG Morning Show. Let us begin our day with a prayer here for this Friday. And it goes like this, people. Never put your hands close together because it makes you a slave. And definitely not like this when you're still believing the liars of the liars of the liars who lied behind the liar. But more so, in humility. Thank Jah for my early rising in the morning in great health. I also thank Jah for the opportunity He places before me, so therefore I may succeed at them at His bequest and His bequest only. I also thank Jah for the ability to show people how to, help those who cannot help themselves, and to show that self-reliance does work in many cases, and that are very practical. But more so, that we allow ourselves to show our enemies compassion even though they deserve a patada in the culo. That's why Jesus Christ to the 2027 to the throne of Jah himself, King Haile Selassie, Jah Rastafari, Jah Rastafari, Jah Rastafari. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the Dragon of the Mountain has opened up his mouth, and it is open. We are roaring live on YouTube. MushLuv'd by Jah, the KTNG Morning Show. So therefore, residents, dissidents, people who have lost their minds as well as lost their ability to put their pants on correctly in the morning. Welcome to the KTNG Morning Show. Like I'm having rheumatism. And I'm looking for a gun. There you go, people. It's the KTNG Morning Show. And we are live on YouTube. We should be live on Facebook, hopefully by next week. But we just want to make sure we can get some people here as well. Anyway, make sure you stop by our website, MushLuv'd by Jah, the KTNG Morning Show. You'll see that. Join the conversation if you can. We'll find out how to do those parameters at a later time. So, in the meantime, you get to watch me spout out everything that you think about. That's right. I read the news, and therefore I give my opinions and sometimes my quirky ideal of how things could actually work, which are more humanistic than anything else that you've been listening to or getting from your magnetic, whoever the hell that guy is that's basically sitting in the White House thinking that he's like, the king of the world. All right, we already seen that movie, and of course Leo dies. All right, yeah. Gotta do this in the morning. Kind of cold out here. 8 degrees, people. That's what I'm sitting on. 8 degrees and no polar vortex for climate change is happening here at all. Womp womp. Oh my God. Anyway, I am your host for the most. From the left coast to the right coast to the north to the south, the irrepressible mouth. On beat, people, here we go. The G to the R to the I to the T to the Z, zesty on top of the mountain all the way down to the freeway. Your freak on the peak who's about to speak. And if you don't open up your eyes and your ears and your mind and your heart, then you might have something to think about for the rest of the week. Ending, not spending all your infinitesimal timing on buying and being a consumer. That ain't no rumor. As you're broke in the middle of the week before the first of the month is gone. Yeah. Poor people of America, wake up. All right, stop being a damn victim. Anyway, this is KTNG860am.org, Unified Community Broadcasting, Talk and Soul Radio for all the Colorado Springs in the world. And I am up. We are up. And we are not sitting up here walking around here like ghosts. All right, so anyway, let's get into our synopsis of today's spit. The empty cheese souffle all day. So what do I mean by empty cheese souffle? These are metaphors, people. Metaphors of food. Food is healing, but the food that I'm serving up is a cause for a dis-ease in the mental brain box. Yes. So here we are, people. Let's get this day started. All right. Now, as we know, we're still rolling part 2 of this so-called State of the Union address. Fact-finding, fact-checking, and facts all the way around. Some facts are true, and some facts basically just need a little work on, even though they are a benefit to the Republican Party. So, let's go through some of those facts real quick. what type of wars we're looking at, and what kind of investigation that I'm sticking with. Anyway, or more or less the investigation that we all should be sticking with at this particular time. So, here we are, people. Let's fact check this crap anyway. All right. Now we all know what Cheeseburger says, and I'm sorry if you are new to this, you don't know who Cheeseburger is. He's the man with no tax plans, the man with the tiny hands, also the PP tape. He's also the second person in the human centipede. Where he's on his hands and knees being a proverbial ass bucket to Putin. And Kim Jong-un, Duterte, Maduro, and now Guaido. That's right. That's right. It's a natty. Go watch that damn movie. You will get sick looking at it straight up. And then watch 2, 3, and 4. Yeah. Yeah, that's right. Even Tiny Lister's in one. Oh boy, it's so funny. It is so funny. But then again, look at it from the political aspects of who's on this chain of this human centipede of politics, corruption, collusion, and everything else. Let's get this straight. Fact check. All right, so on the Russian investigation, let's see, of the 34 people, many of them were bloggers from Moscow, or they were people that had nothing to do with me, had nothing to do with what they were talking about, or there were people who got caught telling a fib or telling a lie. Like 8,900 lies later, I swear, I think it's a terrible thing that's happened to this country because the investigation is a witch hunt. Okay, why does he throw, whenever there's something bad about this knucklehead, why is it that he always thinks that the country is suffering because he's guilty? He was guilty from day one. He was guilty before he was born. He was guilty in his whole family stream. All right? So, fact is, Cheeseburger is correct that Mueller's team has indicted or gotten guilty pleas from 34 people. He's wrong to suggest that none had anything to do with him. We're simply bloggers from Moscow. Bloggers from Moscow. So you mean to tell me Mark Zuckerberg, who went to England to clarify all that is crap that was happening on his social media platform, which purged millions and millions of people, that upsetted not only the, midterms, the elections, and everything else these people had on their hand in, and then he goes over there and kisses Putin's ass right in front of everybody. Yeah, right. Why are you going to sit up and try and be a victim for something you did? Really? That's the most hypocritical thing I've ever heard in my life. But then again, people do that. Okay? It doesn't matter if you're rich or poor. People do that. Especially who you surround yourself with. Do that. Go up there and lie for me. What? Why am I going to sacrifice? Why am I going to fall on the sword for you? I don't have no allegiance to this country when you got racist demagogues running the whole show. All right, now, fact. All right, fact here. You look at General Flynn, where the FBI said he wasn't lying, but Robert Mueller said he was, and they took a man and destroyed his life. Fact is, that's not what the FBI said. And Michael Flynn, Cheeseburger's former national security advisor, has agreed that he lied to the FBI, having pleaded guilty to it. Oops. Let's go on down here, another one. Unemployment. You saw the jobs report just came out. The African Americans have the best employment numbers in the history of our country. Hispanic Americans have the best employment numbers in the history of our country. Asian Americans have the best in the history of our country. In the history of our country, we are seeing one man commit to more perjury, collusion, corruption, lying, emollients. I mean, come on. If his feckless daughter doesn't mind or doesn't care about the investigations that are leading her and her family to prison, by all means, she must think like her father, which is, I am above the law. Ha ha. Fact is, black unemployment is not currently the lowest ever, possibly in part to the partial government shutdown, which lifted joblessness last month. Oops. Let me give you some more. Black unemployment did reach its low of 5.9% in May, but that figure is volatile on a monthly basis. The rate, which has since increased to 6.8% in January. Lowest. The margin of error here is 1.8%, people, okay? Hispanic and Asian American joblessness also risen off the record lows last year. Hispanic unemployment last month was 4.9%, up from a low of 4.4%, and reached in October and December. Asian American unemployment was at 3.1%, up from 2.2% in May. Moreover, there are multiple signs that the racial wealth gap is now worsening. The most dramatic drop in black unemployment came under President Obama when it fell from its recession high of 16.8% in March of 2010 to 7.8% of January of 2017. So when crap for brains sits there and says that black unemployment reached a 5.9% low, but is up by at least to 6.8% in January, it is because he has he's been dickmotized, okay, to ride President Obama's success after handling a George Bush recession. It's like, you guys get it. I mean, come on, let's look at it. Let's look at this fairly now, okay? You have white politicians who go in, become president, make a mess of the country, then you get one black president for 2 terms, cleans up everything, and then you got another white president who comes in and throws everything out the window and doesn't want to have nobody else stamp anywhere in the White House whatsoever. Even if he has to point out on a tour to people that this is where Bill Clinton got his dick sucked, or this is where Obama wore that tan suit. All of Obama's policies are being thrown out the window because of one racist ass Mitch McConnell and cheeseburger without no brain. But then again, racism loves racism. Okay, now, the chant should now be finish the wall as opposed to build the wall, because we're building a lot of wall. I started 6 months ago. We really started going to town because I could see that we're going nowhere with the Democrats. These are fact is, despite all this talk of progress, he added no extra miles of barriers to the border date. Construction is to start this month on a levee wall system in Rio Grande Valley that will add 14 miles of barrier. The first lengthening of his presidency, that part will pay for as a part of the $1.4 billion approved for Congress last year. Most work on the contracts awarded by Cheeseburger's administration has been for replacement of existing barrier. That's it, people. That's all you're getting. That's all you deserve. A brand new shiny wall from 2,000 miles is impractical. Okay? It does not make one bit of sense whatsoever. Unless you find it quite hilarious that Melania put that wall in the bed between her and him. Who would want to bed down with a shaved down Bigfoot in the first place? Good Lord. And when you talk about the steel industry, tariffs on the dumping of steel in the United States have been totally revived. The revival of our steel industry. New and expanded plants are happening all over the United States. We have not only saved this important industry, but created so many jobs. Also, billions paid to our treasury, and a big win for us here, okay, back here in January. He's exaggerating the recovery in the steel industry, particularly when it comes to jobs. In December, the steel industry employed about 141,000 people, the Labor Department says in its latest data. Last March, when Cheeseburger said he would impose the tariffs, that was 139,000, and then again, a gain of just 2,200 jobs during the period in which the overall economy added nearly 2 million jobs. On a percentage basis, the steel industry jobs grew by 1.6%, barely higher than the 1.3% increase in all jobs. Oh my God. Okay, so voter fraud. 58,000 non-citizens voted in Texas with 95,000 non-citizens registered to vote. Those numbers are just the tip of the iceberg. All over the country, especially in California, voter fraud is rampant. Must be stopped. Strong voter ID. Facts is, the iceberg quickly began to melt as officials found serious problems with a report from the Texas Secretary of State Office on voter fraud. More broadly, Cheeseburger is overstating that the magnitude of such fraud across the United States. It's all happened because that's how that jackass became president, when he rigged the electoral system. Duh. All right. Okay. After all I've done for the military, our veterans, judges, 99 justices, 2 of them are like, whatever. But does anybody really think that I won't build a wall? Fact is, he's boasting. And hear about a record of getting federal judges and justices on the bench. But the record is not extraordinary. He also misstates the total number of judges which have been confirmed by the Senate. It's 85, not 99. So let's see. Are we through with the fact checking yet? Or do we want to see the results of those fact checks? Let's check this out. Now let's go on this crazy ideal that, let's see, he still wants the wall. Well, unfortunately, according to Politico, Cheeseburger is cornered on the border wall. Cheeseburger doesn't have GOP support at this time to go through another shutdown and declare a national emergency. So they stripped that away from him. Again, the wolf tickets come from the smallest one in the pack. In this case, it's usually the fattest one in the pack. All right? So, he's sitting up there complaining, oh, the Democrats are against the wall. Democrats, no, the Democrats are against the impracticality of spending so much freaking money on garbage when our infrastructure, kids can go to college for free for have their tuition paid. Not only that, but we can use that money to clean up the damn water, okay, in Detroit, or better yet, put in more medical facilities that are better apt to work with people who are suffering on Cancer Row in Louisiana. Better yet, new gun law. We can do better with the gun laws in Florida. Better yet, okay, we can end the impoverished system that seems to be more race baiting and more race related in Alabama when people are getting ringworm because they don't have adequate sewer systems. Better yet, that money could be spent on paying teachers who are basically working in, say, crowded classrooms at this time. Better yet, you can take that $5.7 billion and help your ethno-state commit the world's greatest act of genocide. That's what you could do with that $5.7 billion. Basically, the Republican Party unwilling to back another government shutdown or a national emergency declaration to build a border wall, Cheeseburger in his unfamiliar position, according to multiple White House officials and lawmakers, prepared potentially to accept compromise foisted on him by Congress. And a few days ago, Cheeseburger called the committee tasked with hammering out a border security deal a waste of time. But he seemed warm to the ideal of a bipartisan dealship on Thursday after he met with Senate Appropriations Chairman Richard Shelby of Alabama. Republican, as they would say. Shelby later briefed Senate Republicans on the meeting at the party village, which left them hopeful that the president would be willing to support something that gives him more money for fencing, even if it isn't the $5.7 billion he's been asking, says one attendee. Quote, he'll consider any kind of reasonable position. There's a general openness, said Senator Tom Tillis of North Carolina, a vulnerable GOP senator who's struck by a cheeseburger amid a potentially politically debilitating 35-day shutdown. Quote, he's obviously going to fulfill his campaign promise, and there's got to be some earnest progress, but it's not like he's going to acquiesce. But I believe he's showing good faith. Showing good faith? Showing good faith? Really? Okay, let me show you what showing good faith is to this moron that you have as your commander-in-chief, your master-in-chief of stress and just double policy making. Come on, the man's got he doesn't have a forked tongue, he has a trident tongue, okay? 3 sides of it, all lies and one sliver of truth that comes from out of the middle, which this is not a God-fearing man whatsoever, come on. Prayer breakfast is, what, he's praying for more pancakes and syrup and butter? Fat bastard. What are you doing? You drink Diet Coke has not seen a rise in its stock. You're not losing weight. All right, jeez. So intentionally, they have not said a firm number. Well, okay, but here's the deal. Here's the deal. This jackass knows full well that his wolf tickets didn't sell this time. His fear-mongering did not sell this time. And people who sit up and believe that garbage, by God, you're walking with failure. You might as well be a bunch of freaking lemons. Go to Mount Everest and kill yourselves. Jeez, I'm going to tell you the reason why, okay? Of all this fact-checking, of all of this garbage that concerns this man's double policy of we need more immigration. How are you going to sit there and say you need more immigration when you don't want nobody browner in this damn country whatsoever? Let me show you what your policies have done. Oh, MAGA hat idiots. Daily Beast, HHH official. We have warned family separation would be a disaster. Now, what part of Black History Month do you not want to hear about? The diaspora, the effects of diaspora, or could it actually be experienced by another person of color who has melanin? Besides all of us who think we're all like, okay, yeah, we originated the entire earth, blah, 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 blah. Really? Really? We're going to sit there and isolate our diaspora to a human diaspora, which is called causing a mental condition, not only in the black community, but also in the brown community as well. Complex post-traumatic stress disorder, people, we do suffer. We're just too much of an anti-snitch factory to bring all these issues out until somebody sticks a camera in our face, and then we start looking like victims and therefore start crying the blues all damn day. Instead of actively attacking the situation and stop being so damn reactive. Oh, anyway, here it is. Here's the story. Daily Beast. All right. Representative Jens Schakowsky, Democrat from Illinois, asked, does anyone know how many children are separated from their parents? Does anyone know how many separated kids are still in U.S. custody? Nobody knows. Nobody. What is revealed during Thursday's hearing to investigate the Department of Health and Human Services' role in carrying out Cheeseburger's disastrous zero-tolerance immigration policy, which was a deeply chaotic process. There was no single agency or government department that was entirely responsible for the initial separation of immigrant children from their parents, their housing after their separation, or eventual reunification efforts seeking to piece families back together after the court orders mandated it. There is nothing happening on that end. DACA got pulled off the table. DACA was never discussed in the State of the Union. The State of the Union, basically, people, was just an ego fluff for the Republican Party to look somewhat strong in the public eye, which has lowered its numbers because they're acting weak. Okay, come on. When are we going to get over the pufferfish the pufferfish montage of a metaphor here? Okay? Up. I'm swole. I'm swole. I'm swole. And then absolutely nothing comes out of it. I mean, come on. The guy's crying wolf tickets all damn day, and people are actually running to Peter when Peter calls for the wolf every damn time, right? Or dictator calls wolf tickets. But y'all don't hear me though. He goes on to say, he goes on to say that in fact the Commander Jonathan White, the coordinating official of the Department of Health and Human Services Family Reunification efforts, told House Energy and Commerce Subcommittee on Oversight and Investigation that he wasn't even sure whether the Health and Human Services Secretary Alex Azar even had a heads up that the zero-tolerance policy was being implemented. Had White been warned, he testified he would have objected to the policy. Objected to the policy? Dude, the crap was on the news 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Oh, I didn't hear anything from the office. That's the lamest excuse I ever heard in my life. You have thousands of people who have been separated from their children. What kind of effects do you think mentally that these people have, gone through? Their children were locked in cages and for Americans to sit there and say, we're free and we're brave, we're bold and blah, 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 and all that crap. You chose to put children in cages. I don't have to remind you of such atrocities, but this is what we do here. We put people of color in cages for the systemic fact of fear. Get over it. All right? Get over it. Because right about now, okay, Cheeseburger, people in Texas have done with you. BuzzFeed News, we've had enough. Native Americans and environmentalists are in a last-ditch fight over a border wall in Texas. Oh, we're building a wall. It's happening right now. We're building a wall. You got some strong resistance coming up this way. Pending construction of a section of the Cheeseburger's presidential border wall in Texas has tribal members, environmentalists, and other opponents scrambling to protect the land, possibly setting up yet another showdown with the government. Protesters gathered this week at the National Butterfly Center in Mission, Texas, which has for months sought to stop the wall from cutting through its property. Construction is slated to begin sometime in February, so when construction equipment show up nearby us on Sunday, fears arose that ground could be broken soon on a roughly 30-foot steel wall and concrete barrier. According to the United States Customs and Border Protection, the levee will be raised about 2 miles north of the Rio Grande, the border between the United States and Mexico, into a concrete wall topped by steel posts and illuminated by floodlights. South of the wall, 150 feet of land will be cleared, and the road will be paved for the border enforcement work. Funding for the project was approved by Congress last year's appropriations bill, $1.4 billion. Okay, and that's all you should get. But opponents say that the wall will rob residents of their land, cut off historic landmarks, and hurt local tourism economy. Construction will destroy the habitat, and the wall will impede the ability of animals, including critically endangered species like the ocelot, to find food and mate
throughout the region, critics say. What part of this do we not understand? Oh, that's right, the EPA rolled back all kinds of considerations. An eminent domain was voted in 1992. Converting the sloping levee into a wall will also trap wildlife when the river floods, leaving them to drown. Okay, a planned 24-hour security lighting will cause severe disruptions of the daily rhythms of plants and animals. Opponents of the project have added. Mariana Trevino Wright, a Butterfly Center's executive director, could not be reached by BuzzFeed News for an interview, but told Monitor newspaper it's all bad. So what part of this do we not understand, people? What part of this do we understand? That there's just vacant space down there to build a wall? Or that all you have to do primarily is just maintain the damn thing? People are going to take a ladder and climb up over it. People are going to dig up underneath. It doesn't matter what you do or how pretty you want to make this shit. All right? Let's just face it, it doesn't do any good. All the claims of people coming through here illegally, all the claims of drugs sneaking through here illegally, make a left, then a right, and then another left. It sounds like something out of a damn Warner Brothers Bugs Bunny cartoon. I knew I should have took that left at Albuquerque. Come on. The most hated man in the damn country is putting up fear and you people believe it? Y'all shock me. To the rhetoric of garbage. It's straight garbage. All right? And it will also be garbage. I've already fact-checked this. I've already told you that complex post-traumatic stress disorder is going to be a generational thing for every Honduran, Central American, El Salvadorian, or anyone that coming out of the area, Guatemalan. I mean, come on. These people are suffering right now because of our Monroe doctrine of manifest destiny. We've already proved our coup works in Venezuela, but here in Trump-Venezuela, we are seeing the lies come true that he is nothing more than a damn dictator who seeks the riches and the awards and the praises of people groveling at his feet. And who better than the Republican Party when they have absolutely no choice but to follow the rat off the ship. And it's sinking fast. Cheers. So, here we go. So here we are. Okay, here we go. That the United States basically has done its worst in humanitarian efforts. There are families, there are children that are fleeing horrific violence, but they changed the asylum message to say that if you suffer violence, it's not considered an asylum. It's not considered asylum if you're running away from something that we caused. Okay? We're going to send you back if you think you're going to be here. We're going to separate you from your children, and that's going to be it. Because we can't afford free labor like Cheeseburger can afford free labor to go without health insurance, working for your dictator. You know, nobody asked any of those immigrants that showed up that was working in Cheeseburger's golf course at the State of the Union what they thought about their so-called irrelevant leader. All right? The man who fired you out of 14 years of your work. Nice. But children are fleeing horrific violence. It is in the hope that lawmakers seeking a compromise with Cheeseburger don't give any more money towards the wall or fences at the border. They're coming to have hundreds more people who are going to have their property condemned. They're going to have wildlife refuges that are going to be torn apart. The whole project is absurd. There's no need for it. It doesn't improve anything. It doesn't make anyone safer. No. People have brains. People have imaginations. People can think what they want and do what they want when they want to get past an obstacle. What are you going to do? Electrify the fucking thing? Oh, that would be real good. Then we'll be in all kinds of humanitarian my foot, man. We'll be right up there with the dystopian China, as well as Russia, as well as any other right-wing government that seeks to condemn and hold and cow its people into subversion. That's what you guys want? You guys want to subvert yourself to this ass? This mendicant? This so-called leader of the greatest country over all other countries? Oh my God. We're not that great, people. As a matter of fact, on the list of nations, we rank like, what is it? 30? We're number one. We're the only ones who commit to such jackassery that the rest of the world laughs at us. I laugh at us. And there's good enough reason why we should be laughing at this, because we are causing it. Now, when we actually wake up and have some sort of common sense to do something about it, I'll be waiting. I'm looking at my watch right now. Oh, that's right. We like to party and bullshit. That's all. We like to hear the trials and tribulations of stars and people who have made their way in life and done great for their success, but haven't done a damn thing for your community. Now have you? Come on. I mean, even DJ Quick comes out to Compton and spins a couple of records. At least that's something. Ludacris, he buys libraries and does stuff for his community. You know, that sort of thing. He does stuff for his family and his community and everything like that. Dr. Dre, I don't hear nothing from you. Ice Cube, I don't hear nothing from you. Jay-Z, I ain't hear nothing from you. Beyonce, forget about it. Ice-T, oh, you busy acting. You ain't got time to be doing that. Yeah. But let the Zulu Nation and Universal Zulu Nation go around the world promoting love, peace, and happiness and having fun and inspiring communities to do more with their artwork, like Ross Bernard Benzema out in South Africa right about now. That man is running. He should be president right about now. But he's getting communities involved in the political process as well as hip-hop. So people, use this platform. Use this platform. Right about now, we're at the halfway point, people. That means everybody on YouTube gets to see this. Bingo bango. That's right. We have items for sale. Always do. The books that we write here, The Art of Eve. You know, very good, buddy. Good buddy. Also, the Happy in a Big Bowl of Oranges. Telltale. That's what I'm talking about. The Iron Tree. Stories of perseverance and success and happiness in the end. Yes. The black man made it past the credits. And of course, our mug of mug. You know that mug. That's right. Everybody gets a mug. That's all you got to do. Get a mug. Show your support. Become a member, supporter of KTNG 860am.org. Become a subscriber at the $20 level. Become a good neighbor subscriber at the $5 level. But most importantly, support what we do here, because I love the support that I get here on a day-to-day basis. And it works. I mean, come on. I list off the names of the people who support and the people who interact with me. Other than that, you know, come on. This is what we do here. We get up every day, 3 o'clock in the morning, just to do this for you and for your sanity. What's left of it at this point. Anyway, onward, Christian soldier. So, what does that mean? Death to America. There we go. All right, so let's go from one end of the spectrum to the other. And I will let you know exactly where you need to be. Now, when it comes to this major 2020, everybody's out there, you know, running for president, well, putting their bid in for president. Oh my God, why is this going to cost like $50 billion to $80 billion to $100 billion? Why are you starting now? Why? Because you already see what's in the White House. You already know what's in the White House. You already know what policies are coming down. You already understand that by the next 7 days, a week from today, people, 7 days, we're looking at the possibility of those wolf ticket actually being punched, or a wolf ticket that basically just became another lie. Another punch in the eye of those who are from the alt-right, those who are supporting this president from the KKK, those who are supporting white supremacy, those who are supporting militias, those who are supporting the shrinking arrogance of those who consider themselves with a God complex. Okay? Let's just dispel all of that real quick. Okay, first of all, every last one of you got African ancestry in you. Second of all, Jesus was black. Third, and finally, this should be no reason for anything of debate whatsoever. Yes, without my melanin, you would not exist. Think about it. Oh, MAGA hat wearer. Sheesh. Anyway, here we go for the fight of the century. And in one corner we have the rolling cheeseburger weighing in at 260 pounds of blubber, lard,
and 95% of it nothing but lies. In the blue corner, we have AOC, darling star of the media, 110 to 20 pounds, give or take, well, give or take at the shoes, of pure fire fury, who has taken over Cheeseburger's right to be on the internet. And here they come into the center ring, they shake hands, they shake gloves, and already there's a swing from the right. Democrats just gave Cheeseburger a socialism fight that he's been spoiling with the Green New Deal, which calls for a mammoth expansion of federal investments in market interventions, and the political and planetary stakes couldn't be higher. Driving the force of this, 5-tier Democratic presidential 2020 candidates, Kamala Harris, Cory Booker, Kristen Gillibrand, Elizabeth Warren, Bernie Sanders, are already co-sponsoring the non-binding resolution. The G&D aims to reduce greenhouse gases to nearly zero, while also providing universal health care and universal jobs guarantee among the objectives of the resolution. Upgrading all existing buildings in the United States and building new buildings to achieve maximum efficiency, energy efficiency. So get rid of the old damn buildings, build new ones, okay? But you gotta wonder what level of gentrification and greed is gonna come up out of it if there's no cost of living adjustment. Ding! Working collaborative with farmers and ranchers to remove pollution and greenhouse gas emissions as much as it can be technologically feasible. Guarantee a job with a family-sustaining wage, adequate family and medical leave, paid vacations, and retirement security for all people in the United States, which keeps the Social Security Administration open. Okay? Now what they're saying is the Republican Party machinery immediately went after the plan. The Republican National Committee called it a socialist wish list. And they'll cry about, oh, look what happened to Venezuela, boo, boo, boo. No. The United States set that up so they can have something to bounce on. Come on. If we were not paying attention to the Shah of Iran's deposement by the United States, what's so different about Guaido's being trained by the United States to cause a coup to happen in the first freaking place? The IMF has got their dirty little fingers on it, as well as NATO and the UN. Yes, they sponsored the United States to have this done. Okay? Straight up. Senator Joe Barbosa is the case, who's in the GOP leadership, knocked the Socialist Manifesto that lays out a laundry list of government giveaways. Oh, really? So you mean to tell me the government is so chinchy that it basically gives away millions in military hardware to the UAE, in which they waste it, leaving it on the grounds of it being destroyed by IEDs. And then the people from Yemen and the Houthi people basically take that wasted United States money, and they rebuild, reverse engineer, and rebuild and refortify their positions. Yeah. Coming to the table without any funding for the border walls is a waste of money. No, we are wasting money left and right. We still don't even have an audit from the IRS about the $21 trillion the Pentagon had already lost, along with the other $6.9 trillion to go with it. Who's going to be paying for that crap? Cheesy. But a recent survey from Yale and George Mason University showed that 48% of Americans think the people of the United States are being harmed by global warming right now. And it's an increase of 16 points since March of 2015. Okay? Bottom line, the proposal is outside the political mainstreams, while the broad ambition of the ideal of the new Green Deal, namely drastically reducing greenhouse gases emissions as soon as possible, is in line with specific consensus, which means within the next 12 years, as scientists have predicted, no, you cannot wish for global warming to come back and thaw out everything. When a polar vortex is caused by the same problems that mankind has alleviated. We cut down the rainforest. For what? We strip mine in Africa. For what? We drag pipelines all across Native American Indian land. For what? This giant resource war that we have started with the rest of the world is going to come to a very ugly ending. What a fine way to end things. So, again, let me tell you something about the stasis of why America is the way it is. Detroit Free Press. Detroit officials criticized after tossing homeless people's possessions out in the damn street.
So, oh yeah, so in the history of our nation, we have not yet conquered the scourge of poverty. Even though some of you Republicans are morally apt to say, oh, well, we can't have gay people in church, we can deny gay people services at regular retail spots. But we can't do a damn thing for the homeless because it is written in the Bible that you should care for those who have not. And you're living in that hypocrisy, like Kellyanne Conway. How dare you drag your daughters out for a night out, okay? And then get harassed because you stand next to a liar. You stand next to somebody who should be the right-hand man of Lucifer himself. The story goes like this. An area of downtown Detroit where homeless people sought refuge from an impending ice storm was cleared by the city this week, leaving those who lived there without warm blankets, ground covering, and personal belongings. The effort to put Detroit officials on a hot seat Thursday was to wrestle on how to help chronically homeless residents in an impoverished city and keep unkempt, neglected areas clean. That's a real simple solution. All of those abandoned buildings, all of those abandoned houses, they can be fixed up by the city for cheap. They're on the freaking books, people. All you got to do is do a title search. Buy the freaking property, the foundation underneath the property. Own it. Pass that ownership to those who are homeless once and make sure that they have jobs. Okay? Oh, that's right. Cheeseburger made a commitment to having millions of people working, and they ain't even working. Okay? If the homeless are not working, guess what? You have a problem. If you clean up the stuff that the homeless need to survive on a day-to-day basis because you want to be pretty, you're doing nothing. You're doing nothing for your fellow man. How about this? Why don't some of these people who are like, say, in the politics, council, sheriffs, and everything like that, why don't you guys spend the night in the freezing freaking cold? Okay? I've seen tags and feeds of officers forcing black women to walk in the cold during this polar vortex. And this looks like this doesn't look like a sweep. Now I've seen the type of sweeps that they do in New York, and I've seen the type of sweeps that they do for the homeless in, say, like Los Angeles. They do it during the summer when they can actually get more provisions or find better ways of doing what they can to survive. But in the dead of winter, God, that's about as racist as it gets. Speaking of which, come on. How about this, America? How about this? Black History Month, Black Mystery Month. Oh, how I look to laugh at you. From America to China, blackface has a global problem. Washington Post. In a span of around 2 weeks, 3 U.S. politicians have admitted using blackface at some point. Some have been doctored by Republicans. Yes, it has. Prompting calls for them to resign. Only one of them has stepped down so far. Michael Irvin, a Republican who was recently appointed Florida Secretary of State, resigned last month after photos emerged of his racist Halloween costume from 2005. In the photo, his face is painted black, and he is wearing a shirt that reads, Katrina Victim. According to the Tallahassee Democratic Hurricane Katrina, which struck the Gulf Coast in 2005, left nearly 2,000 people dead. Hurricane Maria left more people dead in Puerto Rico than who died in 9/11. Eat that one. All right. Then last week, a page emerged from the medical school yearbook of Virginia Governor Ralph Reckham Northam, Democrat, featuring a photo of one person dressed in blackface and another dressed in a Ku Klux Klan robe. The governor flip-flopped over to whether he was one of the custom people in the photo, ultimately denying that he was, but he was later admitted that he used the blackface on the other occasion when he dressed like Michael Jackson. Boy, I tell you, why don't you just try a hangman's noose on some fishing wire around your balls and just hang yourself, dude. Seriously. On Wednesday, Virginia Attorney General Mark Herring, Democrat, also admitted to wearing blackface. Blackface, blackface, blackface. Everybody's doing blackface, okay? In recent years, the Netherlands has faced calls to eliminate a controversial Christmas-time character known as Zwarte Piet, or Black Pete. Historically, in November or December, the Dutch version of the St. Nicholas, known as Sinterklaas, hands out gifts to helpers, typically to people dressed in blackface. Okay, now, Okay, the U.S. is far from perfect, but one thing is that, and I'm here to acknowledge, that race is an issue. What we have here in Holland is a very strong denial that racism is an issue. The narrative said it makes it harder to discuss the issue. Wrong. Let's discuss this issue right about now. The Dutch are just like the Portuguese are basically infamous when it came to the Middle Passage. Okay, the North American slave trade. All right, the Dutch are also responsible for apartheid in Africa, where they do the same damn thing there, along with a few Germans who've escaped from like World War II and they've lived in Africa, and also many Russians there who support their own white racist supremacist agendas. Come to think of it, okay, this also goes on in, say, the Democratic Republic of Congo, where the Belgian King Leopold exploited the country for rubber. Millions of people believe that they have lost their lives under Leopold's rule. In Peru, okay, the station was fined $26,000 in 2013 for after airing a character they called Negro Mama. Okay, this is going on all over the freaking world. Okay, it really is. All right, and China has always opposed any form of racial discrimination. Any efforts to undermine the country's ties with Africa would be a doomed futile effort. So of course, they are going to stick, and they're going to stick with their props that they're getting in Africa right about now. Even though the Africans once lost the land by the Bible, now they're losing their money, losing their land to greed and money. Yes, you are. You keep falling for the same okie doke. All right. So stop fighting each other and fight your real damn enemies. Damn, don't be so damn dumb about it. Death to America. Okay, straight up. I'm going to keep on going. I'm going to keep on saying that. I don't care. Death to America. All right? Just like that. And the only reason why I'm saying that is because I'm directing that straight to Cheeseburger. That's right. I will be on his Twitter feed cussing him out as usual. But it's so fun, though. It's so fun. Because he sits there and says, okay, well, everybody hates me to the point where I know that they love me in secret. No, we do not love you in secret. Nobody likes him. And those that do are so damn dumb. Good Lord. You can honestly back this man's position on racism, discrimination, white supremacy, and you say that 9 times out of 10 that that Photoshop thing that was done and handed through Ann Coulter, okay, the right-hand side of the devil, Lucifer himself, death to America. Straight up. Okay, last story here. Reuters, death to America. Aimed at Trump, not American nation, Iran leader says. Okay, well, all right. Death to America. Okay. Iranians will death to America as long as Washington continues its hostile policies, but the slogan is directed at Cheeseburger and its U.S. leaders, not the American nation, Iran Supreme Leader said on Friday. Today. As long as America continues its wickedness, the Iranian nation will not abandon death to America, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei told a gathering of Iranian Air Force officers marking the 40th anniversary of Iran's Islamic Revolution, according to its official website. Uh-oh, it sounds like they're getting ready to drop the dollar. What happened to Libya? What happened to Venezuela? If you drop the dollar, your leaders will get killed. Or there may be a coup riding around the manifest destiny of resource wars. Yeah. That's what we look for. Cheeseburger pulled out of Iran's 2015 nuclear deal with the world's powers last year and reimposed sanctions on Tehran, dealing a blow to the country's economy. Death to America means death to Trump. National Security Advisor John Bolton and Secretary of State Mike Pompeo, it means death to American rulers. European signatories of the nuclear deal have been trying to save the accord, but Khamenei says they could not be trusted. I recommend that one should not trust the Europeans just as the Americans, Khamenei said. We don't say don't have contacts with them, but it's an issue of trust. European unions have stepped up criticism of Iran's ballistic missile program while remaining committed to the 2015 nuclear deal. So, guess what? Iran's gonna collude with them and put hypersonic rockets there to which we have no defense against whatsoever. Eat that one, NORAD. Because I know you're listening. So, what have we all got here in a nutshell? An empty cheese souffle. I mean, it's more or less the spin of the day, but let's look at it this way, people. We got all this crap going on. Fact checks upon fact checks upon fact check. And you mean to tell me that he's doing good for the country? He's doing good for the image of the country, the morality of this country, the reason why diversity works. And if it hadn't been for diversity, we wouldn't have what we got today. But then there is the issue between understanding wealth in this country as well as who owns what. If you are a capitalist, you are expected to pay for free labor. Come on. Think about it. There are many poor whites out there suffering twice as hard as there are blacks and Latinos out here. Those who are 76% of the food stamp recipients. Those who are damn near 80% of SSI claims. But yet still, people of color are not supposed to have this. Okay? There's no reparations then when the KKK was in the White House, and there's no reparations now that you got the leader of the KKK sitting up there telling you it's not going to happen. But we can put your ass to work for low numbers that don't even exist. Really. Try that shit when you're over 50, Jack. You trying to look for a damn job as a black man. See what you get. America eats its young on a day-to-day basis. Okay? And if there's fear of a browning of this nation, you should embrace it. Embrace it. Because this is what happens when you sit there and try to subjugate other cultures for your own parasitic needs. Come on. What I just read right here shows all the parasitic needs of those who need to stay in power, who want to stay in power, who are dreaming of staying in power simply because they depend on our ignorance. They depend on our idolatry to like chase after the little red ball in our dreams. Where it goes, nobody knows. But rest assured, people, those who are dressed in suits with ties are nothing more than racist motherfuckers in disguise. So what if I got a potty mouth? Big deal. Bill O'Rourke has a potty mouth. He's looking at the field right now. I'm gonna run for president. If he does, he'll probably beat out everybody. I mean, come on. Think about it. You damn sure ain't trusting Kamala Harris right about now with all of her minor things that are happening. But then again, look at Hillary Clinton. Even if you put a mustache on her, she can still run. For real. The whole thing was to keep, women from being in politics. Now, if we have a woman president who decides to write legislation that basically stops men, okay, that puts a levy on against men and their bodies, then guess what? It's gonna be a real big upheaval when it comes to Roe versus Wade. We'll see after April. That's all. We'll see after April. But therein lies the problem, people. Are we giving too much trust to those who are in power, who look neat, who save the day on every aspect in books and media, knowing that they're basically just effing it up left and right? Come on. Are we that damn dumb, complacent, or ignorant? Or we're just biding our time when it becomes a weak enough system that we can just sit up and say, okay, we didn't have to put too much pressure on this, so we're going to just just knock it over, and therefore we've won the revolution with the least amount of effort. No, it's a daily grind. If you are not part of the problem, if you're not a part of the solution, you are part of the problem. And as revolutionaries go, don't be no armchair revolutionary. Get your ass out there. Become one with your community. If you do not have anything to say about your community, then stay inside. Hide yourselves like a bunch of hermits. Because when spring does break, best believe Cheeseburger is going to be hunted. It ain't gonna be the hunt for Red October. No, it's gonna be the hunt for the orange, for the orange one, the orange Tic Tac, the fat Tic Tac, big ass tick sucking the blood out of America left and right, and then making all kinds of grandeur statements. Oh, we're the best at this. Oh, we're the history of this. Miss me with that. Or how about the new emoji?
mushroom dick. There you go. Oh my God. Anyway, bottom line is this, people. Bottom line is this. 7 days left, people. After the weekend, it becomes 5. Will the wolf tickets go? Will the fear-mongering be looked at as what it is? Because now we've all heard the same garbage come out of this man's mouth every single time he steps up or tries to step up. And now Pelosi and her crew are making very, very substantial steps in creating a war of investigations. Death to America! I'm serious. Serious. You know? And because people are so, I don't know. Because people are so complacent and looking for escapism, they're not ready to go to the next phase. Even though everybody's woke, ain't nobody ready to go to the next phase. Which is when we drop all, and I mean drop all of our stereotypes, become one people, and march on Washington and demand that you follow the Constitution, that you demand humanitarian rights, that you demand universal law, that you demand transparency in all forms of government, whether they be hidden or not, whether they're hidden or not. Like the FOP. How come we don't have transparency on them? How come we don't have transparency on, say, the Heritage Foundation? How come we don't have transparency on the Koch Foundation? How come we don't have transparency on the NRA? How come we don't have transparency on the right, but everybody demands it on the left, don't they? They demand it on the center, on the independents. Billionaires who want to run for Congress, want to run for presidency, and think they can run it as a business. Okay, we've already got one useless billionaire, okay, or so-called billionaire. I doubt seriously he even has the money because he owes $400 million of that back to the Russians. Collusion, my ass. No. This has just all been nothing but money laundering, and Cheeseburger knows it. It won't be long now, people. Robert Mueller is going to have his time well after February. Well after February. Let's say good morning to everybody, all right? Say good morning. All right. Here we go, people. And we say good morning to Amir Sarkey. Good morning. Jay Meeks, good morning. James Anthony Ewell, good morning. Lena Shockley, good morning. Taz Spinach, good morning. Maria Salseri, good morning. Gloria Anderson, good morning. Let's see. MC Prowse, good morning. Lucella Testa, good morning. Manny Gonzalez Reyna, good morning. Kevin Huckman Sr., good morning. Takuji Nakago, good morning. Domo Domo all the way out there in Japan. Ni hao to my people in China. What's going on? Good morning all of my people in Nairobi. Good morning to my people in Morocco. Good morning to my people in South America, Venezuela. Good morning to my people in Cuba. Good morning to my people in Hawaii. Good morning to my people in the United States. Good morning to my people in Central America, Mexico. That's right. Viva la raza. Good morning to my people all the way out in Los Angeles, Compton, East LA, in the barrios, in the ghettos. 8 Deuce, what's up? Long Beach, go on with your bad self. Good morning to Snoop Dogg. Good morning to my lady in waiting. Brenda Eakins Perkins, good morning. Linda Equetza is a good morning. Julian Ramirez, good morning. Napoleon Couscous, good morning. La Rock, good morning. That's right, good morning, good morning, good morning. Tom Knife 9 Larson, good morning. Charles Moore, Sr., good morning. Bishop Peter, good morning. Kuba Wu-Tang, good morning. Hakan Latun, good morning. I know you're with me, brother, but I know you're there. But, you know, what can I say? Let's see. Tom Bacon, good morning. The man is synonymous with world domination. Michaela, good morning. Jean-Francois Steele, good morning. Theophilus Mob, good morning. Terry D, good morning. Oh, my God. I mean, it just goes on and on and on. Oh, my goodness. But I love you all. Mark Ruff, good morning. Dr. Proctor, good morning. Nigel Dowring, Professor Nigel Dowring, good morning. Miss you this day. Also, Marcela Segundo, good morning. Harold Taylor, good morning. And the Cash, good morning. Alexandra Silva, good morning. Compton Upil, good morning. KM Arola, good morning. Walter Jenkins, man, submit on this with, let's see, the Foggy Booty, good morning. Michael Zorn, good morning. Let's see, Imani Curie, good morning. Stasio Martinez, good morning. Let's see, whoa. Imani Kyrie, good morning. Angelique Marie Monet, good morning. Good morning. And last but not least, Luke Cage, good morning.
Juan Garcia, good morning. Oh my goodness. Jay Quire, good morning, the ultimate digger. Let's see, also, let's see. Jason Anthony, good morning. Ronnie Knowledge Born, Chosen Zulu, good morning. Universal Zulu Nation, good morning. Erstina Colbert, good morning. Gumbo, DJ Burgers, good morning and happy birthday. Wham Bam, thank you, ma'am. Okay, we are out of here. We're out of here. So, in that particular case, people, if you're all, when you owe taxes again, Anthony Mason, don't pay your taxes until this shutdown aversion is complete. There's money back in the government, and therefore they won't use your tax dollars, people, to build the stupid ass wall. Joe Fitz, good morning. Eva Santiago, good morning. Akiska Lewis, good morning. Richard Reeves, good morning. That's it. I've done my best for. Oh, and Heidi, yes, Heidi, Zulu Heidi. Oh, yes, across the pond. Good morning, Anna King, Boogie, Gotti, good morning. Oh, my God, it's too many people. Paul Martin, good morning, my brother. Oh, my God. Okay, and that's it. I got to get up out of here because, for one thing, I know that if I sit here and say good morning to every single person, all 5,000 of you, it's going to take me all damn day. So, it's Friday, people. Get out there. Do your thing, but most importantly, pay attention to what's happening in your communities, what's happening with your neighbors, okay? And most importantly, look outside your front yard, okay? There's a whole world out there, and if you can do it, do it. Get out there, make a name for yourself, make history to change the current course of history that this jackasses think that he owns, that he publicly owns. Okay? And he denies on a day-to-day basis. If you want to stick with a liar, go ahead. But remember, either part of the problem, part of the solution. If you're part of the problem, then we can't afford you no more. Revolutionaries, militants, environmentalists, those who are culturalists and revolutionists, constitutionalists, stand up, make a difference, do it. All you gotta do, really. Piece of chicken grease, people. You know how we do this. This has been the KTNG Morning Show, KTNG860am.org, 501c status. Bidding you all a safe and wonderful day, but most importantly, love, peace, and chicken grease. All power to the people. All people. Purpose.